Podcast, Unbiased Sports Talk. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. All right, first topic of the day. What you want to start off with, fellas? You want to start off with something easy? You want to start off with something light? How you feeling today, Ron?
Hey, I was born ready.
Oh, I was born ready. Well, let's start
Producer
off.
told you.
Let's start. No, I know. You know, he was taking his time, so
Mm-hmm.
just waiting on him. But I will say this: over the weekend, we had our college football playoffs, and there was a lot of bowl games as well. I'd like to know if how did y'all thoughts on the Georgia game?
They got it right when it came to Florida State. The
You think so?
scoreboard said he got it right.
Florida State, right?
Florida State, yeah. Georgia, Florida
Yeah,
State.
yeah, Georgia Florida State. They
Okay.
got it right when it comes to Florida State. The scoreboard says it. They lost to 3 teams in one night. You lost against the starters, you lost against the backup, and you lost against the transfer portal.
Oh shoot,
He ain't lying.
He
Shit.
not. He not. Please take the suit. Nah, bro. You listen here. Go blue right now. That's all I got to say before I interrupt you guys with this nonsense. Look, it's unfortunate to Florida State, but they got it right. No one wanted to see Florida State in that playoffs for without their quarterback, and I don't like how it's conducted. And hopefully next year we move on to 12-team playoffs. And I still think it's always going to be somebody getting the short end of the stick, but it might not be as bad as it is when you're trying to cram in those teams to 4 spots. I think they got it right. Obviously, you see, like you said, the score makes its own sense. I mean, look, we still got to put in content. A lot of the players didn't play for Florida State. They opted out not to play in the bowl game, which I still would have played regardless of the committee. I'm playing for more than what is in stake right now. I mean, that was my platform for me to actually go out there and show what I could do to get to the next level. So I understand that the committee and everything wasn't as fair as you thought it should be, but I think that the decision was right based on the competition of the bowl games going forward. Like I want the best 4 in the playoffs. Hey, your thoughts?
So then I guess I'm assuming I agree. Florida State, no question. But I think the big question is Georgia. Did they get it right with Georgia and the top 4 teams? So I think going forward, I think the 12-team playoff system is great for a situation like this where you have Georgia, who their only one loss is to a team that's in the top 4 in the championship for their conference. So I think that's part of why they blew Florida State out the way they did, just to prove a point that, hey, you guys messed up in not having us in the top 4. But that's my real question is, did they get it correct with Georgia? And that's where I don't necessarily think that was the correct call. What's your thoughts?
No, I'm wrong. Go ahead, Ron. I agree with you, E. Good point. But Ron, go ahead.
It's who would you taken out? Texas?
Probably.
All right. So I was thinking Texas when Georgia first lost to Alabama, but at the same time, I'm not the committee in the sense of how they view it and everything, because I was watching Last Chance U. I can't remember if it was the first season or second season. But like how they went about rankings and stuff was basically about points, right? And it's how many touchdowns they're scoring against each team. So the higher their score, the higher their ranking is, right? If you watch Georgia's season, they wasn't really dominating throughout the rest of their season. They were winning, but they wasn't dominating. Texas and Alabama, especially Texas, they were dominating. So that's what got them into the big show. But I'm not really disagreeing. I'm just really explaining that one side of it. Now,
I think it's one of those situations where everybody's going to be sore if their team didn't get in. It's more of a personal situation more than, listen, the 4 teams that got in, they arguably say that, you could have put somebody else in, but I think they got it right, bro.
Yeah, I think they got it right. But can I say this one thing about Florida State? I think Florida State just showed evidence. They got coaches that's not coaching. You rely on talent. Because Florida State being a prestige school, Michigan being a prestige school, even Ohio State, because Ohio State shit the bed too. And like if you're such a prestige school and it's just developing people, next man up.
Nah, I agree.
So the next man's only you getting 3 points in a 2.5-hour game. Anyways, I know we got more other topics. I don't know. Let's go.
I think it just proved the point as to why they were on the outside looking in.
Hey, they ain't want it bad enough.
Yeah.
On to the next topic, fellas. Oh, where we going next? Good Lord, my producer. Can you hear me, producer? Hey, nope, we're having some technical difficulties right now. I think we're going to have to go to the regular schedule programming. Oh, and we're live. Oh, we want to wing it. We're winging it. So,
y'all cool.
I gotta stop laughing.
Oh,
to NFL news, guys. NFL
There we
power
go.
ranking. There you go. Oh, you know what? You don't push the button. I push the button. I got you. All right. I had a nap. I want y'all to know. I'm ready.
Rest.
All right, we're moving on to the power rankings. Let's get this quick and out the way. Don't nobody need to have a long conversation about this, Ron. So, top 5 power ranking right now. Ron, what's your 5? Hold on. I stumbled you. There you go. Hold on.
Yeah, because I thought it was gonna be on you.
No.
Yeah, I thought you were just gonna throw it up.
Everybody knows you want to listen here. We know what number 1 is. We want you to start it off. Let's go.
All right, well, shit. Number 1, Baltimore. Number 2, Baltimore. Number 2, 49ers. Number 2 is 49ers. Number 3 is the Cleveland Browns. Number 4 is the Detroit Lions. And number 5 is the Buffalo Bills. Please eat. I'm waiting on you. I'm waiting on you.
Okay.
I'm waiting on you.
Okay.
I'm waiting on you.
Yo, you see how Ron get right?
Like smack DVD. Blah. Give him all the rebuttals right now. You give it to him.
So
bar for bar.
I agree with your first 2, Baltimore, San Fran. I also agree with Buffalo, and then I'm gonna go Detroit and Dallas.
What are you arguing right now? You're removing. Who are you removing out of this list?
You're removing Cleveland?
I removed Cleveland. Yeah. And then who was your last one, Ron? No, you said Detroit was last one.
My number 5 was the Bills.
Oh, was the Bills. Okay, so I had them 3. Yeah, and I put in Dallas because you didn't have Dallas, right?
No, you have the Cowboys. He had Cowboys at
Did it?
4.
No, I didn't have the Cowboys.
You didn't
No, he didn't. He had Cleveland. That's what I thought. He had Cleveland.
At 3 though. But who was your 4 and 5?
My 3 was Cleveland. My 4 was Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
My number 5 was the Buffalo Bills.
Okay, it's 5 was the Bills.
So the Cowboys not in your top 5.
No.
And then your top 5.
I got the Cowboys.
You don't have Cleveland in your top 5.
I don't have Cleveland, right? So he's got Cleveland, and I don't. Right there you go.
All right, we're gonna make this real quick. All right, bro. I ain't with your 5. I'm sorry. Your 5, I ain't with. I can't get down with the 5. Seriously. Why is Cleveland not in your top 5? That's the only reason why now I can't get with your top 5 is because Cleveland has been a better team than the Bills, than the Cowboys, than the Lions. I don't know if you said Dolphins.
No, I didn't say Dolphins. I mean, I just think, I guess you probably to be fair, they're right there in that group of from 3 to 6.
Mm-hmm.
So again, just maybe it's my fault of not watching them as much as maybe you guys have. and that's all, and that's fair. So again, I'm gonna be unbiased.
Hold on. May you please taste the soup?
So go ahead and tell me your five.
I think it's one of those situations where you got to pay attention to the Cleveland Browns right now a little bit more than just catching highlights. You got to pay a little bit more attention to what's going on, to how they play, the style of play, and who they've played. One, and the level of play, who they played. They beat the Niners. They didn't beat the Ravens. They didn't beat the two best teams in the league. And they have, like, I consider top 3 defense. I would say Ravens, arguably Cleveland, Niners. Depending on what given day, you can say who you want to be 1, 2, or 3. But the moment they got a quarterback that can actually be a serviceable quarterback right now and get the ball into his playmakers' hands, Cleveland is looking unstoppable. And I don't see the Lions looking like that. I don't see the Cowboys. I mean, the cow refs or the Cowboys. So I don't know what's going on. But
fair.
I think a lot of those teams that we've been using all season, they kind of like the second to third tier team. Like if you talk about the first tier teams right now, if I was to be worried about, it's Niners, Browns, Ravens. The next tier is like Cowboys and everybody else. And I might put the Cowboys in that first tier at the bottom. In the bottom by default, because I feel like I need to have 2 AFC, 2 NFC. But outside of that, I feel like everybody else is around the same level. Dolphins, Lions, they all are hit or miss and won't do anything. And to be honest with you, I feel like Matthew Stafford and the Hot Rams would beat almost all those teams outside of the first 3 I said.
And so everybody
go ahead.
And so to the point, then everybody's saying, for example, you said throughout the year we've had certain teams at the top, but everybody had the Eagles fall out. So what is your guys' reasons for pulling out the Eagles?
What you just said, they fell out. They fell out. It's real simple. It's not really nothing to talk about. You lost.
Okay. And plus, also, this is another thing about the ranking.
You look like Jeepers Creepers right now with that hat on.
I don't even have a comeback. I'll have to get you on the next episode.
And back to what were you saying, sir?
Back to my take. Just click that. I don't even have a comeback, but I will get your ass back next episode. If I don't answer your phone calls for the next 2 days, I'm working on my comeback. Anyways,
he's making sure they do no backwards.
You've been
my 50-mile radius.
Yeah, you can play Ron Wilson. This man told me to sit. I was like, who you talking to? Anyways,
nigga, hold up. I did not say it like that. That's how you interpret it. Okay, you were talking, you were doing something, he was just, and I'm like, hey, fantasy football season is over. He all into next season. I said, kick your feet up and have a vacation. That sounds different than
have a seat.
Sit like I'm talking to a dog. Like I just told that motherfucker to sit, and he looked at me like, no, I didn't tell you to sit. I said,
Ron got to spice it up.
I know.
So real quick, I know we got to talk this. So real quick, so my
ranking, technical difficulties.
Ravens, 49ers, Browns, dominance. They're dominant. Now, when we get to teams like Detroit, honestly, I know we're going to touch on this anyways. They already had a playoff spot. There was a lot of fourth downs they didn't have to go on fourth down for. So, to me, Detroit more so lost the game than Cowboys won the game. They didn't win the game. Detroit lost.
They lost a lot of games based on being over aggressive.
Right. So, like Detroit was just like, "Hey, we already got the spot. Let's try shit out. We're gonna throw it to a left tackle." The game was, but they had plenty of moments earlier in the game. That's why, watching Jared Goff's reaction in the press conference talking about the Detroit Lions, he was bummed out in the sense of how the referees went about it. But overall, they knew the factor where they had things sealed deal when it came to their playoff spot. So they were experimenting. You're gonna throw it to a tackle to make a playoff spot.
But they
lost it. few games ago being that aggressive, bro. They listen. They have a lot of games where he was making those same aggressive decisions in the last few games based on those decisions. And I would honestly say if those aggressive decisions were probably less aggressive and probably a little bit more reserved, we might be considering them a more solid team than what their record shows.
Right. Can I ask y'all a question? You know, because the editor keeps popping this question down.
Yeah, he finally caught up. What is going on with this guy?
Yeah. So can I ask y'all a question? Can I take the mic from Javon real quick, if you don't mind?
There you go. Talk to me.
Well, E has already admitted his ass don't watch football. So you mean
no?
That's not what I said.
That's not what he said. See, that's how you be jumping the gun. He told me
exactly.
He said he doesn't watch the Browns. Word.
Okay. Anyways, with the way they ref that game, do you think that explains all the other home games at the Dallas Cowboys or why they're undefeated? Javon,
yes and no. So I'm not going to say that a lot of these calls are to specifically help out that specific team. In my opinion, in my perspective, I've been calling these games out earlier in the season of who's going to win, who's not going to win. I knew that the Ravens was going to beat the Niners, even though I'm a Niners fan. I knew that the Cowboys was going to beat the Eagles based on if these teams are that dominant and they start, bless you, if these teams are that dominant and they actually get to rest 4 or 5 weeks before the season is over, then these games are not competitive. And then if the product doesn't look as well. So at the end of the day, I feel like these refs are kind of scaling these games to make sure that these games were competitive all the way through to the last final weeks. Because at the end of the day, the Cowboys game was clearly that was fixed. First and foremost, touchdown. The call was delayed. By the time they called, I'm like, I thought the game was over. Then you show the instant replay of the lineman clearing eligibility to play. Now their thing is they said that
they ain't here.
He didn't say that he was eligible. Then they saying that number 70 said he was eligible. Only one person can be eligible, and that's not even a correct rule. Multiple people can be eligible outside of that one tackle. It could be multiple people who can line up and say we're both eligible to go for a pass. And then you see them clearly walking over to the refs to actually what was he having a conversation about? They just all walked over for nothing. Nah, it's fluke, right. And they needed that to happen because it benefited the NFL more than the Cowboys. Now I think it also benefits the NFL if the Cowboys are winning and in the playoffs because it's America's team and it's listen, man, some bullshit. It is. Listen, we're watching WWE. Don't get too hyped. Like, oh my God, they're really a great team. They're all one. It's all one.
Vegas need to win too.
So and then that's another thing. You add in Vegas, E. Good point. You add in Vegas, and then it's definitely that's a call that can be made on any play that can change the direction of the game.
E, did you watch that final drive? E?
He froze on you, so he didn't have to answer the question.
Damn, I see.
He was like,
I guess that's a yes.
He did. He smiled. He laughed. Look at him. You see him moving. He's moving.
There you go. You say, yeah. You heard me?
No,
we didn't. We didn't hear you.
I say, yeah. My bad. I say, yeah. I watched that game.
So, no, I said, did you watch the final drive?
Yes.
What's your thoughts on that final drive?
I mean, I thought the Lions did what they need to do. You just talked about the issue. The only issue I had was with that last call, them trying to get the 2 points conversion. But they had an opportunity and they came down and executed. So what was it? Something particular you're getting at?
Yeah, he's getting at something. You can see it. You clearly can see it over there.
So I said, just tell me what's the question? What are we talking about?
So I was noticing in the game, and especially because at that current time in the game, I was already having a wide receivers conversation with another coach at the same time. He called me. We were talking about plays, blah, blah, going forward, right? Because we were talking about how today's game, a lot of guys don't even run routes anymore. They just run the areas. and we were
Yeah.
talking about, CeeDee Lamb. And so there were times where CeeDee Lamb was getting calls, and then Amon-Ra wasn't getting draws. I got you. So that last drive is where I was questioning the refs in the sense of how they handle home games, especially because you have a referee that's right there by the Mike backer, the middle backer, to call those calls, and he missed a lot of pass interference calls. It's just there's no way you could miss that.
And so it goes to you guys' point about the refs that somebody was trying to hopefully stop the Lions from scoring, but they did. Despite that, they still drove down the field and they still got the score, and whatnot. But go ahead, Javon.
All right, we're gonna leave it at this. At the end of the day, those calls were definitely questionable, but the coaching call was the most questionable for me. If I try to go forward on two plays at the end of the game and I get two opportunities that let me know I get one more opportunity. So basically the first one was kind of, maybe that might be a sign. Second one, go for the field goal, going overtime. Probably was the best decision to do after you shot your shots.
Correct.
That's what I would
agree.
But
agree 100%.
But moving forward, producer, there my guy go. Look at him. Boy, we need to be on the court together. Pass and assist. Penny to Shaq. I guess I'll be Penny with your big ass being Shaq.
All right, let's go. Yeah, funny as shit.
When your producer is Ezekiel Elliott, people, they don't even know he already got a side job. He look wholesome.
He's talking junk.
I saw the question now.
We all saw it. We're gonna be real quick. What's the deal with Russell Wilson versus the Broncos, fellas? I mean, are y'all aware what's going on? They asked this man. They're wrong.
Talk to him.
They asked this man to take a seat. This is how you tell a dude to sit down. They asked this man Russell to take a seat because I believe they want him to take a pay cut, and he's not willing to take a pay cut, or he hasn't made that decision yet. And
just the contract.
It's over contract issues. I would like to know what's your guys' thoughts on this battle with Russell versus Broncos.
Can I ask a rhetorical question? Has his play defeated anybody's argument?
Hey. If you're talking about player value versus player money, this question there. This question that I think that I overpaid for something, and I might want. I would like to discuss how I can get something back in return.
They look like they overpaid him, like how they overpaid Carr and how they overpaid Daniel Jones. He's on the same bus.
Yeah, but he deserved to be overpaid. If you're going to say out of all those three, his resume speaks a little bit more to be overpaid for. And I think that Russ was exposed leaving the system in Seattle, and people did not realize. Well, I think people are realizing that a lot of these QBs who they think they're as good as they are, when that QB has to carry a team, and the team is not as loaded as it is when they're on their QB rookie deal, that you really get to finally see if this QB is a franchise or elite QB. Like Russ, also a young Russ, with his best ability was actually utilizing his legs, to help him make big plays. And when he kind of lost a step, I feel like he lost his ability.
I honestly, and Javon, I think you remember this conversation. He made me look like an idiot because I said, I know I did. He made me look like an idiot. I said, I had a long debate with Mo. I said, he can implement the same stuff that Drew Brees was doing, just pitch and catch. So, I mean, I got nothing.
I think that he can. Go ahead, E. Go ahead. I think that I agree with you. I thought that he could too, Ron. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I honestly, I think it's pretty simple. It's business. At the end of the day, like you said earlier, the Broncos are upset, feeling that they were not getting the value for the money they put out for Russell. And so now they're trying to backtrack. But this is where I'm on the side of the players, of where you need to do whatever you can to get the best deal for yourself. And you signed a contract. So that is the obligation of the players. So you signed a contract. Now you need to go out and perform and execute. So you can't be sitting there holding out or sitting on the sideline like forgetting basketball where you talk about guys not playing the game and taking time off. But you signed the contract, get out there and play.
Hold on.
But
I got a message from the producer. You know, he's all dancing in the video right about now. Okay, back to you, Ron. I'm messing with my producer today. I'm just having fun. That's my man.
Ron, what you about to say?
You got anything?
That's what I said. Fuck Russell.
Fuck Ronald Reagan. Fuck Russell.
All right.
All right, moving on to the NBA. Oh man, somebody's about to get their engagement levels up a little higher right now.
Ron?
Yep. Yeah, he will get. If you say the wrong thing, you know he like the police when it comes to sports.
I don't listen.
What
I don't get it.
You didn't defend him well enough.
I think that is cool, but I've seen this before. You got a lot of guys that do very well in the season. I do not care for the season. I care for the playoffs. I care for guys being healthy. I've said this so many times to you, E, when we be having our one-on-ones for basketball. I'm a firm believer a lot of these teams are out here playing professional pickup. Right now, they got a lot of veterans, a lot of good pieces out there playing professional pickup, and they're winning. Congrats. Whoop-de-doo.
And I don't disagree with you. I'm with you. You know, I always say I value what these guys do in the playoffs. I could care less about the regular season because they don't care about it. And so when guys step up and perform in the playoffs, that's where you show me your true talent and what you truly bring to the table. But to the question, or at least to the topic, the Clippers have been balling so far. I think they've been like 11-2 in December, something like that. Now with Harden on the team. So again, this is what I said before when they acquire Harden. If he can do this, meaning gel with the system they have, let Kawhi Leonard and Paul George get his shots off and make catch and shoot shots, they can be really good. I mean, you're talking about your top three in the West. If they're playing well in all three of them, including Westbrook, again, I won't forget Westbrook. Westbrook has been for actually the past 2 years now playing his role and doing well, taking a back seat to the stars. So if they do that, they're going to be a top team. But my issue with them is still, what will Harden do in the playoffs? We know Kawhi has proven he can play in the playoffs when he's healthy. And my other issue with the Clippers is their size. When they go up against a team like the Nuggets, are they going to be able to handle the size of that team? Because they have a pretty big team and they really only have two big men on the Clippers. So that's my only concern with them moving forward. So I'm just waiting to see, like Ron said, what they do in the playoffs. They're going to win games if they play like this. If they can do this in the playoffs, they'll definitely be in the hunt for that Western Conference championship.
Still, the information you get for basketball, I need that for football.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. When the screen went up and focused directly on just you,
I told
it was like yes, that motherfucker stepping up right
Yeah.
now. I'm talking about. I don't even gotta say shit. I could step back and just watch. And say, you know what? See you guys next week. Have a great night.
And like, hey, Javon, like we on the block. Like, yeah, I can go do it. Yeah, I'll be back.
Fuck, just going to the next episode.
Holla.
Huh. All right, we're gonna wrap this up real quick. I would love to say that the Clippers are looking well. I think when it comes to the playoffs, matchup is going to be key. Can they match up with some bigs, and can they cause matchup problems with their smaller size? And it could happen. If they stay healthy, they could be dangerous, because I do believe this. Ron, yeah, it's a lot of AAU pickup basketball going on, but sometimes even when you pick up ball, know your role, even in that role that you play, and when everybody can kind of play their role, because they're all superstars. And once they know how to actually be superstars or good together, they can be a good team. And they're playing as a good team. And on the other note, we're just going to touch this real quick. No homo. Pause. Let's talk about the losing team, Detroit. Just want to get them a little bit of shine, and we're on to the next one. Man, I don't even know why you posted that little image right. Thank you, producer. Hitting buttons. Oh man, he's over here moving too fast. Good
Okay.
Lord.
Oh snap! We lose.
Really wrap this up real quick. Because look, I am so glad. You know what? I'm supposed to moderate. I ain't supposed to tell you why I'm mad. Tell you why you mad, son. Tell them how you mad, son.
Tell them how you really feel.
Tell them how you happy. We finally got rid of R.J. Barrett. The clowns out that draft. Gosh. Oh, I can't go right.
Can I just say something? Can I say something real quick? Because I haven't been watching too much basketball, but I know enough basketball. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know enough to say this. What you about to say?
Go ahead. Talk to him.
I think that was a great move. I think for RJ Barrett to go to Toronto. RJ Barrett simply just cannot play a role with the Knicks. It's very hard to come in and play third fiddle behind Brunson, behind Julius Randle. He can now go partner up with Scotty Barnes back at his home place. That pickup with the other guy, they have a consistent role player. That's my thoughts.
So, shit, good. Ron, you got me feeling like you right now. That's your motherfucker. That's all you got to say. Hold up. RJ Barrett is a better fit. You couldn't be 3 somewhere else. How you gonna be 2?
It's the pause for me. He making my chest hurt tonight. It's the pause.
He was struggling to take the 3 spot, but you gonna be a 2.
I mean, but think about it. It's like playing under the shot clock under 24 seconds. Like, I've seen Carmelo struggle. I've seen plenty of Chris Bosh struggle. It's very hard to come from a star place like Duke and like be 2'd up with Zion, and then come into the league and play 3.
All right, because I want to hurry up and get out of here. I'm hungry. I got to run the Target.
Stay hungry.
I ain't gonna give your ass a goddamn new one. Because your ass ain't paying attention to goddamn basketball. If your ass ain't been watching the Knicks, just say you ain't been watching the goddamn
right.
Knicks. You've been too goddamn.
I'll say this though.
You're being too nice. This nigga is to me. I'm going to use that word wrong. It's garbage. It's fucking garbage. It's fucking garbage. I don't like him. All that hype. No, give me.
But this is why it's good for the Knicks.
Emotional topic. It's the Knicks. You feel me? When the last time they've been somewhere? You gotta understand. Knicks fans, it's like Redskin fans. They're like fans that haven't won nothing in a long time. It hurts.
I forgot he's a Knicks fan. I'm so in football. I forgot.
But that's what I'm saying. He should be happy. You should be happy. Like Ron is agreeing with you.
I was hurt talking about Barrett and him talking about Barrett as if he's good. I'm happy.
Oh, I never said he was good. I'm saying.
Yeah, I said this is a win for the Knicks.
Yeah, I never said he was good. I'm saying he's struggling playing third. It's hard playing third under a shot clock.
No, I was more so when you're saying who won the deal, and he was like
I never said who won because we won't know until later on.
I'll say the Knicks because again, the Raptors. The only thing I would say about this whole thing is it's great for the Knicks to the point you were talking about, Ron. They get an actual role player that's going to fit into their system and play well. I just want to see, what's my guy, power forward? Sorry, name slipping mind right now. Randall. I need him to step up and play well. That's the guy I need to see play better.
Let's just leave it right.
But to go back though to the Raptors, Raptors again, it just feels like they're again trying to establish something for the future, offload some guys, get some draft stock and whatnot, and try to build something towards the future. I feel bad for somebody like Siakam because I think he's a solid player. I want to see him go somewhere where he can win and show off his talents because now in Toronto, he's just nobody's gonna watch him. It's pointless. But that's on my thoughts on that.
I totally agree with that. No disrespect. I totally agree with your take. I feel bad for Siakam, and the whole Randall conversation is a whole nother conversation,
right?
Because he's very disappointing, and we're gonna end it at that note. Randall, gosh,
what we doing?
What we doing? You funny. You real funny. You know what?
He said, "You got it."
You get a pinky cramp, nigga. Seriously. You know what? I hope all the dispensaries in your area shut down for 4 weeks.
He said his gun is fully loaded today.
Yeah, hey, come on. Hey, let's wrap this up.
Hey, man, like and subscribe, man. Holler back. We got to go somewhere, Ron. Go take your hat off, looking like.
I'm saying the last one's about the Pistons, right? Who I think they should go to the G League, whether that they won or not. They should go to the G League.
We gave them.
Yeah, we already passed them.
We gave them 2. Wrong. They were so bad. You don't even realize we potted about them.